this ordinary software engineer, this guy Kevin Chen, ended up getting an interview at OpenAI. And the part that was crazy was that he didn't have any crazy experience, no like big tech or FANG companies on his resume, and he still got into the interview process with OpenAI. And so in this video, I'm going to walk through what he did to actually make that happen. And just to give you a little bit of proof, here's a LinkedIn post I made, which showed a screenshot of Kevin getting an email from the recruiter at OpenAI. And, let's see, the email up here, which I'll show you in just a moment, is the cold email that Kevin sent to the recruiter at OpenAI. And this is what the recruiter said back to him. Hey, Kevin, thanks for your note. Glad my profile pic resonated with you. You can apply here and a link, and I will flag your application to the appropriate recruiter. Let me know once you've applied, and I'll do that. And he actually, once the recruiter kind of flagged the application, it actually came through. And Kevin got the OA, he did well, then he got the interview at OpenAI, and so on and so forth. And so in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what Kevin actually did to make this happen. And the thing he actually did was cold emailing the recruiter, right? You might think that the resume there was some secret sauce in his resume that got him this interview at OpenAI, but to be honest, no. I mean, yes, there are some things you need to have on your resume that are actually important that recruiters will look for, but the main thing that helped was not the resume in this case, it was the fact that he cold emailed the recruiter. And in this video, for the rest of the video, I'm gonna just show you Kevin's cold email. It's in this tab over here, and I'm going to just walk you through this cold email and ultimately why it worked. And fundamentally, cold email is one of the most effective ways to land software engineering interviews in 2026. It's way more effective than referrals or anything like that. In case you needed a little bit more proof, here are the offers I got from Amazon and Google, software engineering offers. And I got these offers, the interviews and then the offers, by cold emailing recruiters at these companies. And so I'm a huge advocate for cold email because it got me into Amazon and Google. And for all the other software engineers that I work with and I mentor one-on-one with their recruiting process, it's the resume and cold email. Those are the biggest things we focus on to help them land more interviews. And then once they actually land interviews, we drill one-on-one interview prep with them. So as promised, let me go ahead and just break down the cold email that got Kevin the interview at OpenAI. So I've redacted the name of the recruiter because I don't want that recruiter to get spammed by everyone watching this video, but let's just go through it. I recently saw on LinkedIn that OpenAI reposted their SWE role, and not only did I see that you recruited roles like this, but I was especially fascinated by your profile picture being an AI-generated version of American Gothic. And if you don't know what American Gothic is, it's a very famous American painting, I think either from the 1800s or 1900s. And ultimately, he says, blah, 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 I'm interested in what OpenAI is doing. But this is like the biggest thing that made Kevin's cold email stand out. I'm not going to read this whole thing out loud. You can pause the video and read it if you want. But ultimately, Kevin had a personal connection to this painting because he had to write some big end of semester essay for it in one of his music classes in college. And so he recognized the painting in the recruiter's profile photo and was like, dude, I know this painting. Like, what made you want to put that as your profile photo? And this cold email stood out compared to the hundreds of other emails that this recruiter probably gets every single day from people who want to get a job at OpenAI. And then of course he puts a couple quick highlights, like some of the most impressive bullet points from his resume, and he bolds the quantitative impact. That part is really important too. So improving backend response reliability by 25%, achieving 38.6% restoration. So we're actually bolding the quantitative impact, the quantifiable impact of his work that also stands out to recruiters. And then you say, hey, if you're the right contact, could you point me to the best rec to apply to, the best requisition, or at least the right recruiter for these roles? And if not, at least explain why you put that painting in your profile photo. And ultimately, why this email stands out so much and why it actually led to Kevin getting an interview at OpenAI is for two main reasons. First, it's the fact that it's actually personalized. It's not just some generic email like, hey, here's my resume. I'm really interested in OpenAI. Are there any roles open? No recruiter is responding to that shit. It's actually personalized to what the recruiter's profile photo was. And the recruiter probably really likes this painting too. The second reason it works is because Kevin actually said, could you connect me with the right recruiter for these roles? If you go and take a look at this post, the email that the recruiter sent back, He actually says, I only focus on FTE hiring, but I do believe we're also hiring interns for this fall. You can apply here and I'll flag your app to the appropriate recruiter. So sometimes when you're cold emailing recruiters, you might not know which is the right recruiter for the roles you're interested in, but you can just cold email multiple recruiters from the same company and one of them will end up being the right one. And even if not, sometimes they will forward your cold email to one of their colleagues who also works in the recruiting department. And then that's how you get into the interview process. And when that happens, the cold email is way more effective because let's say you're a recruiter at a company, one of your colleagues who's also a recruiter says, hey, check out this candidate. I think they would be a good fit for the role that you're responsible for recruiting for. Of course, the recruiter is actually going to take it way more seriously because you've been now endorsed by one of their colleagues. So it's kind of funny. Let's say you cold email a recruiter directly and it's the right recruiter for the role versus cold emailing the wrong recruiter for the role. But maybe that recruiter knows the right recruiter for the role. It might even be more effective to cold email the wrong recruiter for the role because if the wrong recruiter for the role advocates on your behalf with that other recruiter, it's wraps. You're getting into the interview process at the company. And I swear by cold email because for all the software engineers I mentor one-on-one, it's a super effective approach. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right here with Kevin getting an interview at OpenAI without any crazy big tech experience on his resume. And then for myself, it's what got me interviews and offers from Amazon and Google. So I'm a huge advocate for cold email. Now, you might also want to see the video where I break down Kevin's resume bullet point by bullet point, and I actually explain why this resume stood out to the recruiter. And so YouTube is gonna have that video pop up on the screen somewhere on the left. So watch that one next. It goes over Kevin's full resume and how you can kind of learn from Kevin's resume to optimize yours to get more interviews. Take care, and I'll see you in that next video.